Oh my
So
gosh.
how does age play in cognitive issues?
Great question. So, basically, so most aspects of what we think of as cognition and kind of uh, yeah, most aspects of cognitive functioning will decline with age. The exceptions to that are the cognitive domains involved with our knowledge, what we call crystallized intelligence. Sometimes people will refer to it as. So that's something that basically just grows as we get older. Um, the things that we know about the world, the words that we know, the vocabulary that we have, the information that we can use to problem solve and to make decisions. That type of information basically just sticks around, with the exception of neurodegenerative conditions
Right.
where the brain actually breaks down in those areas as well. But um, nearly every other aspect of cognitive functioning does decline with age, at least to some extent. So our
Mm.
tests are really they're designed in such a way that we are able to differentiate um, uh, uh, normal aging from abnormal aging, essentially. I'll say it that way. And the way that we do that is because our tests uh, are more or less the way that our tests are designed is by taking large groups of people from the general population, excluding people who have any kind of neurological or major medical conditions that could affect cognition. And so we've got a reasonably, kind of hate to use it to describe it this way, but we then have a reasonably healthy uh, sample of individuals that we then, from the general population. So a sample of people who are representative of our, our patient groups. And then we split that large sample into basically different brackets by age and education. Um, even as far as in some cases down to where you grow up. There are some tests that vary by gender. So we split that larger population sample up into these smaller groups. And then that way that gives us an opportunity to look at, well, how is this person in my office right now performing in comparison to someone who is kind of their average, right? So in comparison to people most similar to them in terms of those age and education and demographic variables. Um, and yeah, so that's kind of how we make the distinction between
Okay.
what's within the average range and what's not.